So what if Adrian Newey leaves Red Bull? Now them's fighting words. And all in the Formula One world seems to be losing its mind recently, with stories that Newey may be leaving the colourful cows. True or not isn't really the subject that interests me though. What stuck in my little head was, what could the impact of Newey leaving possibly be? Could it really be that bad? The man had jobs before Red Bull and Formula One and he left them. Did it have any real impact on those teams when he left? First, just let me give the man the respect he deserves. I'm a huge Rory, Byrne and Gordon Murray fan because they were brilliant designers and they are South Africans. It pains me greatly though to admit that Newey is the greatest designer in the history of the sport. The stats don't lie. Newey designed cars that won 12 World Constructors and 13 World Drivers' Championships. That is madness. He won titles at Williams and McLaren in the 90s and is behind Red Bull's dominance, both current and way back with Vettel's 4 World Drivers' Championships. All the title-winning Williams cars in 92, 93, 96 and 97, and then McLaren's World Drivers' Championship winners in 98 and 99 came from his designing brilliance. That is crazy. Then his cars made Vettel look like he could be the next Schumi. Before the German joined Ferrari and they showed us that Seb may have been a good guy, but he wasn't quite on the Lewis, Schumi, Jim Clark, Fangio and Senna level of goatness. Why didn't I include Max in what I just said? Well, Super V has also only driven Newey cars like early Vettel, so he may also be shown up in a different car or when faced with an actual elite level teammate. Apologies to Perez, or he may prove to be the real deal. Only time will tell. So let's get into the Wayback Machine and have a look at what happened when Newey left successful teams in the past. Adrian Newey joined Williams in 1991. In 1990 they finished 4th in the Constructors with less than half the points of champions McLaren. In the World Drivers' Championship, Lord Mansell of the Great Mustache finished 5th. Not horrible. Williams would take that today, but that Williams was a different beast. Frank was still on top of his game, and with a new Newey design they were brilliant in 91, finishing runner-up to McLaren in the Constructors and Mansell finishing 2nd in the Drivers' titles. Then came 1992, as Wikipedia says. In 1992 there would be no problems, and with dominance of the sport not repeated until the Ferrari Schumacher era. Mansell took the driver's crown and Newey secured his first Constructors title. 93 delivered a second, this time with Alain Prost at the wheel of the FW15C. End quote. 94 and 95, Newey lost out to Rory, Byrne and Schumacher in the Benetton, but it was mostly thought that the Williams was still the superior car, but the unfortunate death of Senna and Schumacher's magnificent mind games and racing ability overcame poor Damon Hill to snag the title. 96 saw Newey cars beat Schumi and Byrne's Ferraris to the title, but as Wikipedia again says, and I quote, Newey was once more ready to become technical director of a team, but with Head a shareholding founder of Williams, he found his way blocked. Loss of both drivers and constructors titles to Benetton in 1995 saw further distance between Newey and Williams. And by the time Damon Hill and Jacques Villeneuve secured both titles in 1996, Newey had been placed on gardening leave prior to joining McLaren. His career at Williams ended with his cars winning 59 race victories, 78 pole positions and 60 fastest laps, all from 114 races from 91 till 97. These 7 years saw 4 drivers clinch World Championship titles. End quote. Newey left and Williams has never won another title.
And this will be Williams' first win since last time a Williams won.
They've won 11 races since 98. That's opposed to the 59 from 91 to 97. They've won 0 since 2012. I think it's safe to say they've never been the same since Newey left. No, he's not the sole reason they've fallen off the face of the planet, but it's very suspicious that the complete lack of success started the moment they decided to pick an old head over a young genius. So the man called Newey joined McLaren, the team whose dominance he ironically ended. He was there from 97 to 2005. They won 44 races in that time period, 2 world drivers and 1 constructors title. When he joined, they hadn't won a race since Senna left in 1993. In the 19 years since he left, they've won only 34, as opposed to the 44 in the 8 years he was there. And a single World Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton in 2008. In 2006, Adrian Newey joined upstarts Red Bull. Since then, they've won 117 races, 6 constructors and 7 drivers' titles. So Adrian Newey has been the design genius behind every Red Bull win. Yes, every Max win and title and every Vettel win and title came out of his mind. So why on earth would he even want to leave? Not only has he designed the statistically greatest car ever in the 2023 Red Bull machine, but the 2024 car seems similarly dominant. Newey's salary is conservatively estimated to be £10 million a year. According to the Daily Mail, and that is more than 200 million South African rands. According to Crash.net, reportedly Newey must face a long period of gardening leave if he chooses to leave. That could stop him from joining a Formula 1 rival team until 2027, which is 1 year into the new regulations, which begin in 26. End quote. Now someone like Lawrence Stroll, a known fan of Newey, like everyone with half a brain,
And I have half the brain that you do.
has the money to buy Newey out of his Red Bull contract and get him available earlier. The Mirror.co.uk wrote, and I quote, "And Newey has said in the past that not working with Fernando Alonso is one of his great regrets in his Formula 1 career. Whether or not the Spaniard will still be racing in 2027, however, remains to be seen. He will turn 46 that year," end quote. Ferrari have also been periodically linked with the design brilliance of Newey, and their fiat billions could also buy him out of his Red Bull commitments. And it is this which would make the most sense to me. Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton have been the biggest challenges Newey has faced, with the exception possibly of Schumacher, and the opportunity to combine with the two of them to win an 8th driver's title for Lewis to take him clear of Schumacher's records and bring Ferrari their first title since 2007, may be the greatest and final challenge of his glittering career. Newey is 65 years old and he's done everything except make Ferrari great again. Yes, Aston Martin also poses a unique challenge. Taking a team that hasn't even won a race to the top would be a massive achievement, but nowhere as crowning an achievement as taking 2 of your greatest rivals under your wing, molding them to your image, and leaving the sport with a final championship, with the then statistically anyway GOAT, and the having taken the legendary team in red back to the top. He has done the noob to champ challenge already anyway. He did it at Red Bull. With tensions said to be high currently at that team, with Horner, Marco and whoever else battling for control, with the battles getting hot now and no more Dietrich Mateschitz around to resolve things, after Horner's scandals erupted earlier this year, it seems Newey may no longer want to be around in the land of the colourful cows. Now Red Bull will definitely feel it when he ups and leaves. Williams and McLaren were at the top when he left, and now look where they are. To what extent Red Bull, however, will suffer, only time can tell. But Newey to another team may be just the great equalizer all non-Red Bull fans have been praying for. And with that, we've reached the end of our video. If you've enjoyed it, consider subscribing please, and having a look at some of the other stuff on our channel. We have new stuff out weekly. Thank you very much for watching. May God bless you, and goodbye.